Hey everyone, in this video we're going to work on visualizing an E flat major 7 chord all over the guitar. And so the purpose of doing this is to really see root 3, 5, major 7, so you can visualize those intervals and use that as a framework for mapping the whole guitar. It's really important to have that map in your mind for playing improvised lines, and also um, seeing all the chord voicings that are available to you for that particular chord. So one of the best ways to do this is by thinking about the cage system. I'm probably going to go do a much more in-depth video on this coming up. But the idea is this. So let's just think of E flat major, just 1, 3, 5. And we're going to find the 5 open chord shapes and apply them to E flat major. So the open chord shapes are C, oops, that's a little out of tune, C, A, G, E, and D. Now if we move these shapes around, you can play every major chord using those 5 shapes. So there's 5 ways to play every major chord. So if we apply these to E flat, here's what we get. We get E flat using the D shape, E flat using the C shape, E flat using the A shape, E flat using the G shape, and this one has kind of like a bottom and a top. And then we have E flat using the E shape, like that. So from there, we can start to identify the intervals inside those shapes. Now, in our school community right now, Fretboard Freedom, we're working on the song Gingy, which is in the key of E flat, which is why I chose E flat. And, it's got this nice chord progression, like that. So I want to show you a nice little pattern that you can practice to get better at visualizing root 3, 5, 7 in the key of E flat. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start here on the 6th fret of the A string, which is the E flat note. And I want you to see your octaves there. So we're going to find the root 3, 5, 7 within these 2 octave constraints. So you're going to go root, 3rd, 5, 7, and then root, and then back down. Now, there's another way to finger this also. We're going to take the 7th and put it here on the 3rd string on the 7th fret. Everything else stays the same. So you want to practice it both ways, fingering number 1 and fingering number 2. Now we're going to keep this same root right here, and we're going to move up to the A shape, the A shape right here. So here are now our octaves, E flat and E flat. We're going to do the same thing. Root, 3rd, 5th, major 7, root, back down. Now we can use a different fingering for this also. We can put the 3rd on the 5th string. Everything else stays the same. So you want to practice it both ways. Now, what that gives us is a set of patterns to practice. We did it over the C shape and over the A shape of E flat. And there are two fingerings you can use for each of those. Now, once we go up here to the G shape, those patterns just repeat on a different string set. So here's E flat, and we're going to do the same thing. Root, third, fifth, seventh, root. And then we can also do, like we did down there, take the seventh and put it on a string, a lower string. So we've got E flat, root, third, 5, 7, root. Let me do that again. So we've got fingering number 1, root, 3, 5, 7, root, 7, 5, third, root. Fingering number 2. Now we're going to keep the same root right here. Now we're up into the E flat major using the E shape, open E shape. Do the same thing. Root, third, fifth, seventh, root. And now just like we did before, take the third and we can put it here on the 6th string. So that's a really nice way of practicing root 3, 5, 7 there. And there's more to say about that and more fingerings also. But that's a really nice place to start, is to see that pattern repeat right here. So root 3, 5, 7, root. Now all of that I just played can be repeated up here on this E flat. Notice that everything I played started with the E flat here on the 6th fret. Same thing would be true up here. This E flat will be the starting point for all of those fingerings. And so this isn't the most musical exercise, but this is just practicing seeing root 3, 5, 7, which is incredibly important for playing improvised lines and playing visualizing chord voicings. So once you have a good sense of where those notes are, then you can start identifying other chord qualities. You know, you could take everything we just did and use the flat 7, for example, to get dominant 7 chords. But for now, practice this. Just start here, 5th string, and go up those fingerings. Move up to the next shape. And then transfer the whole thing up, starting on E flat here on the 6th string. Oops. Nice. So I'll include a PDF of this in the school community. So feel free to check that out if you're not already a member. And yeah, thanks for watching.